Warm greetings to all. Today we are going to have the tips for presentation. It is an important concept that you have to keep in mind. Okay, the first slide, what do you understand from this slide? It is you have to believe in yourself. That is the important matter that you have to keep in mind. The second thing is you have to do a research with regard to the questions to whom I am going to speak, what I am going to speak, why. These three important questions that you have to keep in mind before any presentation. If you are clear, your message would also be clear. Okay? So, have a clear plan. If you answer to the question, you can clearly give the message. The second thing is you have to structure your talk. The first thing is before structuring, do a research what the things are. Collect the materials. A vast reading gives you a good understanding. Stick to the key concepts. What are the ideas that you want to convey? That is the concepts that you have to keep in mind. The next thing is write a clear statement. This is what I am going to explain. This is my point of view. And next thing, be logical in your sequence, narrate it as a story. These are the important points you have to keep in mind before structuring your talk. And the next important thing is try to avoid description, what it is, why it is, how it is, all these things try to avoid it. Organize the most least important to an important one. And the next thing, keep your sentences short. If it is too lengthy, the reader or the listener would find it difficult. The next thing is strive for the clarity. Clarity doesn't come in a single throw. You have to practice, practice, practice. Only practice makes you perfect. Okay? Look at this particular slide. Here, the slide is about global warming, which I have copied from the Wikipedia. If I am going to give this passage to the presentation, it would be a mere confusion. So, what you can do is, you can either have it as a picture, and what is here in the words I have depicted with the picture. So, try for a picture. Next, visual elements. When you are typing a word, the font size should be minimum 28 to 34. Why? Because a person who is sitting in the last row also should have a clear visibility. Only for the visibility, we fix it to 28 to 34. And what is another important thing is, you shouldn't change different fonts in a slide. If you are having a different fonts, this would make the reader to have a confusion in their mind. Okay? The second thing is, use clear and simple visuals. Don't decorate too much. The decoration would lead the audience to have a different thinking. The second thing is the visual element. Use the contrast, either light to the dark or dark to the light, but better advice is let it be with a light to the dark. The second thing is the graphics, you have to make it clear. For example, look at this particular slide. Here I have given you a graphic with a graph with the minute details, but this won't be visible for the person who is sitting in the last row. So, what you can do is you can make it a visibility with a simple graph. Okay? Now, look at this particular slide. Here I had given all the points that are important, but if I am making like this, it would create a confusion in the mind of a reader. So, what you can do is the same idea I am giving the point alone, which I want to convey it to the audience, I have given it. Okay? So, take care. The next thing is the background. The background shouldn't distract the audience from the topic. Whatever the picture that you are using, it should be related to the topic. Okay? The next important thing is the color of the background. Okay? Design a style or a color to the background, but it should be with the consistency. And the next one, if it is a light colored and vice versa, it will look good, and the same time take care if you are using a pale color, it would be only white in the screen. Okay? So, next important thing is the colors light appear when projected. For example, when we look at the laptop, we can have tiny shades of color, but when you are looking in the screen it would be completely different. Okay, make it consistent background, don't change it for different ideas, but you can, if it is a long presentation, you can have difference. Okay. Next important thing is with regard to the content. What is the important thing with regard to the content is have a list of key concepts. These are the concepts that I want to state it. The second thing is read the list before you begin. Have a clear idea what I am going to present. The next thing is don't memorize. If you are memorizing the concept, what happens is when you have any struck, you can't complete with the presentation. So, the next important thing is note the words which will probably be different and each time you present. For example, if I am stating the same, using the same slides and I am going to speak in the class, means my words would be completely different. So, take care and think your ideas and it should follow naturally. Okay. And now with regard to the tricks, what are the important tricks that, excuse me. The first thing is think before the preparation of the slides. The second thing is use effective things rather than the words. Next thing is always have a message, have fun. For example, don't memorize your screen, what the idea is, have it naturally and do a rehearsal of minimum 4 times. It would make your presentation clear. And the next thing is always understand that there is a 3 parts in your presentation. There is a beginning, there is a middle and there is an end. So, while delivering, these are the ideas you have to keep in mind. Plan and to be there a few minutes earlier, look, have accustomed to the surroundings. The next important thing is, sir, next slide. Dress appropriate, which is for your audience, and the next thing is turn off your cell phones. This might disturb you. Okay. When it is an opening, jump right into the topic. Okay. You can have a statement. Don't improvise at the last moment. You have prepared well. When you are come acrossing with a friend, you had some idea. Don't include it in the last minute. Use openings and state the problem what it is and summarize your main theme, and while you are speaking only have a natural and moderate rate of speech. Don't shout. The second thing is speak clearly and distinctly, and the next thing is repeat the critical information. Okay, and pause briefly to give the time to digest the idea by the audience, and don't read the slides aloud, make it natural. And with regard to the body language, keep your eye contact with the audience. Okay, use natural gestures, don't make it awkward, don't turn your back, and next don't hide beyond that is behind the lectern or the screen, and avoid looking at your notes, and talk, don't read. So, when you have the questions, feel free in your mind. Okay, and have the time for few questions which creates a rapport with the audience. Relax. If you don't, even if you don't know the answer, apologize, because no one in the world knows all. So, what you can do is you can say that I would refer and tell you later. Okay, I don't have that information, I will try to find for you. Don't panic with yourself with regard to the question, relax. Okay, and don't apologize. Okay. So, length of your speech, okay, only practice gives you a perfect time to stop. Okay. So, next thing is allow time for the audience interruptions and questions. Don't, if you are given with the 10 minutes, don't speak for all the 10 minutes. Plan yourself at least to complete by 8 minutes, 2 minutes for the questions. And conclusion, summarize your key concepts, what are all the ideas that we have seen, and next, that is resist the temperature, that is temptation for impromptu words, that is which you haven't planned at the last moment. End your talk with a summary statement or the questions you have prepared. For example, what do you want them to do? Have clear idea in your mind and consider alternatives. Okay? Alternatives, it can be either a cartoon or a logo of your company or what else. Okay? So, I think I had given you a precisely the ideas that you have to prepare yourself for the presentation. Thank you.